Welcome to Future Genetics News, February 2012. Matters on ethics. A case report, paternity test/DNA testing leads to a court ruling for legal claim of $190,000, which equates to over £120,000. Future Genetics has been monitoring statistics and data that support that a proportion of the male population are raising children that are not their biological offspring. In more direct language, a proportion of males are raising children that have been fathered by other men. This presents a series of challenges, all of which may have an impact on the involved parties. Certainly, a key is the impact on the children, who are, after all, an innocent party in the matter. Questions related to the child include their fundamental right to know who their biological parents are. Whether the child then chooses where to stay is another matter. Please refer to our YouTube channel to view a report on the likely change in the UK law that gives more powers to children. We believe that children should always be at the forefront when considering matters related to paternity tests or any other relationship DNA tests, and hence why this article has placed an emphasis on children being first. Now that this point has been made, we proceed to the report related to a recent litigation case. The Associated Press today reported that Eric Fisher from Connecticut, USA, commissioned a discrete DNA test as an alternative to choosing a DNA testing kit to confirm whether indeed he was the biological father of the youngest daughter. In order to clarify, discrete DNA paternity tests allow the parent or guardian to submit material that has been used by the individual, such as a paper cup that the children have drunk from, for DNA analysis. In this instance, Mr. Fisher had sent in a few strands of hair from his daughter's hairbrush, which is adequate to carry out a paternity test. Future Genetics' view is that the use of the discrete DNA test was important in this situation, as it minimized the impact on the child. As it transpired, the DNA paternity test demonstrated that Mr. Fisher was not the biological father, and that in fact the child was the biological child of his wife, Pamela Tournier, and Richard Zellino, who was her business partner. A noteworthy point is that Richard Zellino was with the Fishers after the birth of the youngest daughter, and also made a point of attending her school recitals as well as going to a summer camp musical. The DNA paternity test was carried out in 2007. The court had made a ruling in 2009 when the young daughter was still a minor. However, the court only released its ruling of 2009 this week, which supports that the young girl was not aware that Eric Fisher was never her biological father while she was still a minor. The daughter is now 19 years old. Eric Fisher has now been given the green light by the courts to proceed and seek financial reimbursement amounting to $190,000, which amounts to over £120,000, where the sum corresponds to half the cost of raising the child as claimed by Mr. Eric Fisher. Future Genetics believes that this case highlights points around paternity. One view is that Eric Fisher maintained his silence and raised his child, albeit she was not his biological child, up until she was an adult. However, he also took it upon himself to ensure that Mr. Richard Zellino does at least take financial responsibility for the raising of his biological daughter. The advent of easy-to-use DNA testing kits and the availability of DNA testing in the UK and the USA certainly empower cuckolded men who are entitled to know whether they are the biological fathers. We would like to end this report on how it started, which is around evaluating the potential impact on children who find themselves in such situations. It is assuring to know that all parties appeared to have acted responsibly to avoid any potentially unpleasant repercussion on the child. Future Genetics is a DNA testing UK company that provides accredited DNA paternity tests. About Future Genetics. Future Genetics are true leaders in DNA analysis and DNA testing. They empower the individual as well as families. The board of directors are all true expert scientists. We provide accurate and reliable DNA tests. Our DNA tests are private and confidential. Our testing laboratories are accredited by the UK Ministry of Justice, and the results are accepted by the UK Law Courts and Home Office. Next steps. Please rate this video and leave a comment. Subscribe and become a friend at the Future Genetics YouTube channel and receive alerts for news bulletins before anyone else. Please visit the Future Genetics website to read more on DNA testing. Follow us on Twitter, join us at Facebook.